dealt with a lot of guilt, tried to kill myself because I felt like the reason that those girls were abused was because I kept my mouth shut 20 years earlier. Decided that I was done in my marriage. I really went off the deep end after all that. Got hooked on meth and heroin. Ended up with a guy who was fresh out of prison. Thought he was the greatest thing in the world. I went from being a great mom to all of a sudden having to deal with all these mental health issues, years of trauma, and running from them. And I ran from him in a needle. This guy that I was dating ended up being very abusive and then started trafficking me. I dealt with that for 5 years? Stalking. I mean, I was in protective custody. The first time I went to the police department over it, I was told that he did not believe me because we were addicts, because I was addicted to drugs. Yeah. So whatever I said was not real.
Okay.
I knew what was happening to me.
Sure you did. Yeah, of course. And
I drowned. I just dove deeper into addiction. You know, at this point, I wasn't even seeing my kids. I wasn't a mom, numbing every bit of pain that I could.
Sure.
There wasn't many places to turn to. I was in and out of jail. It was always misdemeanor charges, but
you were alone.
Yeah. I mean, I felt like it.
And maybe a little bit similar in the sense that you didn't know how to get through these aspects of life.
Right.
And of course, it started at a very young age.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and part of me thought it was naive for somebody to treat you that way because it had happened for most of my life.
Well, yeah. And I think, too, that depending on how we've grown up, that would be normal. What is normal, right?
Right.
Normal is what we experience, right? And you can do all, I mean, you could raise a child to hate everybody, and they will hate everybody, right? Or you can raise kids in any ways. I mean, I could teach my kids their forks, a spoon, and a spoon's a fork. And if I raise them like that, they're going to be really confused because they're going to believe that those things are true and that is how it's supposed to be. When in fact, the opposite is true. This is a fork and this is a spoon. And so you had now gotten to the point where you struggled with it. You've gone through addiction. And so what has brought you now? I'm going to ask, how old are you now?
I'm 34.
You're 34. So what has brought you to where you are now? And how? Just continue your story. I guess that'd be best. Why don't you just continue your story? Yeah.
You know, I was running, always running from a problem that I couldn't put a name to, but really it was myself. And then I met Robert. And he wasn't putting up with it. He was sober. He was dead set. This is the way I'm going to live my life. And if you want to be a part of it, you're not going to act that way. You're not going to be using in my house. You're not going to do any of that. I had taken off, got really, really messed up. I had called Robert. I was planning on just ending my life because I knew that there was nowhere else to go. Like, I can't go home because I can't get clean. He called me in, and it was the best thing he could have ever done.
Called you in and called you out?
Yeah, exactly. He did. He did. Yeah, I mean, he called the police, and was it a half-hour game of I Spy later? The cops showed up, and then I asked him, I said, please don't take me to the hospital.
Yeah.
Take me to jail. I need help.